Is our last heat of the week, and tonight it is all about Radiohead, science fiction films, the TV series New Girl, and the Britpop superstars Blur. I'm Mark Fennell, and if you're up for some Mastermind, well, have you come to the right spot? Hello and welcome to Mastermind. In this world, there are knowns and there are unknowns. Let's see where our contenders land on that spectrum. Our first contender is audio presenter and producer James Sterling Wilson, who is a die-hard fan of Radiohead. Next, student Liberty Thompson knows all about the TV series New Girl. Then we have data analyst Chao Go, who will be diving into science fiction cinema from the year 2013 onwards. And finally, clinical psychologist Lisa Shirt will be recalling facts about the Britpop superstars Blur. The questions on their specialist subjects will last for 2 minutes, after which our contenders will tackle 90 seconds of general knowledge questions, awaiting our winner a place in tomorrow night's weekly final and a chance to nab a spot in the semi-finals. So, let's get things underway. Will the first contender join me, please? Your name?
James Sterling Wilson.
Occupation?
Audio producer and presenter.
And your specialist subject?
Radiohead.
So, you're 27 years old?
Yes.
So you were literally younger than their career.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
How has it been going through deep diving into the back catalogue for this process?
It's been exciting. It's been a long time since I've really done this amount of detail. I did my university dissertation on the band.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
On a 10-year period between 97 and 2007 to correlate with the Blair government in England.
All right, James, are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now. English band Radiohead was formed in the mid-80s by Tom York, Colin and Johnny Greenwood, Ed O'Brien and which drummer?
Phil Selway.
Correct. Radiohead's breakout single Creep, which launched the band internationally, features on its debut album, which has what title?
Pablo Honey.
Correct. The Kid A album cover depicting fire on snowy mountains was designed by which English artist?
Stanley Donwood.
Correct. On the album The King of Limbs, which track had a video with Tom York wearing a bowler hat and dancing in a quirky style that inspired internet memes?
Lotus Flower.
Correct. Radiohead recorded most of its third studio album, OK Computer, in which English manor house owned by actor James Seymour?
Stanway House.
St Catherine's Court. Radiohead was a support act on the 1995 Monster World Tour, by which American band their members idolised?
REM.
Correct. Tom York is in a car chasing a man down a deserted road in the music video for Karma Police, directed by which filmmaker?
Jonathan Glazer.
Correct. The revolutionary Pay What You Want album release of In Rainbows marked the end of the band's long-running contract with which record label?
EMI.
Correct. The Pablo Honey album tracks You, Prove Yourself and Thinking About You first featured on which 1992 debut EP?
Drill.
Correct. Which track on the Benz album was written in response to the band's growing discomfort with the success of its hit song Creep?
My Iron Lung.
Correct. In the lead single from Radiohead's fifth album, Amnesiac, York sings Black-Eyed Angels Swam With Me, A Moon Full of Stars, and what?
Astral Cars.
Correct. The title of the band's 8th studio album, The King of Limbs, pays homage to an ancient oak tree in which Wiltshire forest?
Dean Forest.
Savanac. Director Baz Luhrmann commissioned the band to write the OK Computer track Exit Music for a film for which movie?
Romeo and Juliet.
Correct. The band scored its 4th consecutive UK #1 album with Hail to the Thief, which reached what number in the US?
3.
Correct. In 2009, Radiohead released a charity single in memory of which British World War I veteran and super centenarian?
Harry Patch.
Correct. How long do you reckon you've been studying for this?
If you include the dissertation, 7 years.
Well, it's paid off. 13 points. Well done. Head back to your chair for me.
Thank you.
Time for our second contender. Your name?
Liberty Thompson.
Occupation?
Student.
And your specialist subject?
New Girl, seasons 5 to 7.
This is such a lovely, warm-hearted, light show. When did you first fall in love with it?
In the school holidays between year 11 and year 12, I had a really bad cold, couldn't leave the house, luckily had no schoolwork. So I sat down, 6.5 days later, finished the whole show, and since then I've just been obsessed.
Liberty, are you ready?
Yep.
Your time starts now. New Girl stars Zooey Deschanel as adorkable teacher Jess Day and co-stars which actor as her best friend, Cece Parikh?
Hannah Simone.
Correct. The series was created, co-written and co-produced by which American showrunner who also directed the season 5 episode No Girl?
Elizabeth Merriweather.
Correct. Seeking to overturn a restraining order, Jess winds up in the back of her ex-boyfriend Sam's truck as he sings along to which pop artist?
Selena Gomez.
Correct. Schmidt asks Nick to be his best man at the beginning of season 5 and presents him with which wedding-related item?
Is it a ring?
Correct. In the episode Godparents, Schmidt informs Nick that Ruth sees him as a dim-witted version of what animal?
Bear.
Raccoon. Rob Reiner plays Jess's dad, Bob, who lives in which US city that Jess visits in the season 6 episode Misery?
Portland.
Correct. The exterior shots of the loft apartment are of a real residential building located at number 837 on which Los Angeles Avenue?
Chicago.
Traction Avenue. Cece and Schmidt hold a feminist icons-themed 3rd birthday party for their daughter Ruth, who has what middle name?
Beta.
Correct. Which minor character introduced in season 6 says that being a Sagittarius is the reason she's so good with people and horses?
Ali.
Leslie. In 300 Feet, Nick is astounded to discover that Schmidt doesn't know that the bar they co-own has what name?
The Griffin.
Correct. The title character of Nick's novel, The Pepperwood Chronicles, is a gumbo-loving Chicago cop turned New Orleans detective with what first name?
Julius.
Correct. Megan Fox plays pharmaceutical rep Reagan, who is first seen browbeating Dr. Richards for buying which drug that can cause dry mouth and diarrhea?
Valium.
Spectavir. At Cece's engagement party, Winston gives himself what crooner-related nickname to describe his prowess at practical jokes?
Brown Lightning.
Frank Sinatra. Which of the show's main cast members made his directorial debut in the season 5 episode Bob and Carolyn, Nick and Schmidt?
Jake Johnson.
Correct. In the season 7 episode Mario, Winston takes part in a university study that allows him to see what for the first time?
Colours.
Correct. Were you kind of reliving episodes throughout that round?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it worked for you. You got 10 points. Well done.
Yay. Thank you.
Head back to the chair for me. Up next is our third contender. Your name?
Chow Go.
Occupation?
Data analyst.
And your special subject?
Science fiction films since 2013.
So what is your favourite sci-fi movie of this era that you're focusing on?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, the new one.
one.
Right. How do you think it compares to the original? Do you think it stacks up? It's a lot of legacy to work with there.
Yeah, it works.
It works. Chow, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Your time starts now. Which French-Canadian filmmaker directed Arrival, Blade Runner 2049 and Dune?
Denis Villeneuve.
Correct. Charlize Theron's character, who rebels against her tyrannical ruler in George Miller's acclaimed Mad Max Fury Road, has what name?
Sholly.
Furiosa. In Edge of Tomorrow, Cage wakes up 7 times at Heathrow Airport, the last 6 times after dying, and a sergeant yells at him, "On your feet, what?"
Sergeant.
Maggot. South Korean Bong Joon-ho directed Snowpiercer and which 2017 film about a young girl's friendship with a genetically modified super pig?
Parasite.
Okja. Starring Matt Damon, Elysium, where the wealthy live above a polluted Earth in an orbiting space station, is set in what year?
2075.
2154. In Passengers, the starship stops spinning, pausing gravity while Jim and Gus sleep, and Aurora is doing what activity?
Sleeping.
Swimming. Computer coder Caleb is invited by his boss in Ex Machina to visit his house and participate in which specific test on humanoid AI Ava?
Pigs.
The Turing test. The alien superorganism waging war on humanity in Edge of Tomorrow is controlled by the Omega, whose final location is in which European city?
Sweden.
Paris. The World's End, Elysium, Coherence and Pacific Rim were all released in what year?
2017.
2013. In Blade Runner 2049, Ryan Gosling plays a Nexus 9 replicant who hunts down older rogue replicants and is known by what single letter?
M.
Okay. After the aliens arrive, Dr. Louisa Banks, played by Amy Adams, is called to assist because she's an expert in what field of study?
Linguistics.
Correct. In Tenet, when the protagonist is fighting with an earlier version of himself, he fires how many bullets into the glass?
3.
4. Astronaut Mark Watney, stranded after being presumed dead in The Martian, manages to survive by cultivating which crop?
Wheat.
Potatoes. Chow, you had a lot of different movies over a long period of time to work with there, and you gave it a really, really good crack. 2 points out of that round. You've still got another round to go. We'll see you back in the chair in a few minutes, but for now, head back for me. After the break, our fourth and final contender, Lisa, will be tested on her special subject. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
This is Frank. He's never hugged a tree. In fact, Frank has never even watered a plant. Basically, Frank has done very little. But Frank wants to do good stuff. That's why he drinks Four Pines, a beer that does loads of good stuff. The world would be better if more people did good stuff. Thanks for everything, Frank. Four Pines Brewing Co. You drink the beer, we'll do the good stuff.
So, you want to make an entrance? It's important to move with purpose. Take in your surroundings. Signal your intention. And enter with poise. Because how you arrive leaves a lasting impression. Arrive in the first ever Lexus LBX.
As you age, it's important to care for your eye health. Support healthy vision with Blackmore's MacuVision. Blackmore's MacuVision is developed based on scientific evidence and supports healthy eyesight, including eye health in aging individuals. It also contains antioxidant nutrients like vitamin E, vitamin C and zinc to help reduce free radical damage in the eye. Remember, supporting eye macular and retina health maintains healthy eye function. That's your healthy bite.
Welcome back. This is Mastermind, and it is now time for Lisa to take to the Mastermind chair. Your name?
Lisa Shirt,
Occupation?
clinical psychologist,
And your specialist subject?
Blur in the 1990s.
Have you collected a lot of Blur merch over the years?
Definitely, definitely. I've got international versions of all of their albums. I've got posters, I've got magazines, I've got newspapers. I have, just so many different things. It's outrageous. I've got nowhere to put them.
You need a bigger house.
Yeah, for sure. Need a much bigger house.
All right, Lisa, are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now. Originally named Seymour, the band changed its name in order to sign to which independent record label owned by David Balfe and Andy Ross?
Food.
Correct. Blur was formed by singer Damon Albarn, drummer Dave Rowntree, bass player Alex James, and which guitarist?
Graham Coxon.
Correct. Of the 6 studio albums Blur released in the 90s, which was the only one not produced by longtime collaborator Stephen Street?
13.
Correct. Blur scored its first UK top 10 in 1991 with which single that begins with the lyric, "You're taking the fun out of everything"?
There's No Other Way.
Correct. The band co-headlined with the Jesus and Mary Chain, My Bloody Valentine and Dinosaur Jr. on a 1992 tour with what name?
Snake Driver.
Roller Coaster. A man brushes his teeth and uses red wine as a mouthwash in the music video for which 4th track off the Great Escape album?
Charmless Man.
Correct. Railing against a style of American music, Damon Albarn told NME, "If punk was about getting rid of hippies, then I'm getting rid of what?"
Grunge.
Correct. Inspired by an infestation in Albarn's home, the end-of-a-century lyric, "Dirty little monsters eaten all the morsels," refers to what insect?
Ants.
Correct. Spawning hit singles, including Girls and Boys, and the title track, Blur's 3rd studio album, Parklife, won how many Brit Awards in total?
4.
Correct. Which lead single from the band's 1997 self-titled 5th album gave Blur its 2nd UK #1 song?
Blur.
Beetlebum. Before reuniting with Stephen Street, Blur originally hired which XTC band member to produce the Modern Life is Rubbish album?
Andy Partridge.
Correct. On the cover of Blur's debut album, Leisure, is a photo of a woman wearing a bathing cap that was originally published in which UK magazine?
Swimming.
Picture Post. Out of that round, you picked up 9 points. Head back to the chair.
Thank you.
And with the end of the specialist subject round, let's have a look at where our scores are currently sitting. In 4th place with 2 points, we have Chow. In 3rd place with 9 points currently is Lisa. In 2nd place with 10 points is Liberty. And out in 1st place with 13 points, give him a hand, James. But what will happen as we enter the general knowledge round? There are 90 seconds on the clock to answer as many general knowledge questions as he can. Chow, please meet me in the chair. Chow, are you ready?
Rock and roll.
Your time starts now. Beautiful one day, perfect the next is a long-running tourism slogan aimed at attracting visitors to which Australian state?
Queensland.
Correct. The novel Midnight's Children, which won the Booker Prize in 1981, was the second published novel of which Indian-born British writer?
Bronte.
Rushdie. Under Anthony Albanese, Labor returned to power by winning the federal election held in which month of 2022?
November.
May. In 10-pin bowling, the standard triangular formation of pins features how many in the back row?
5.
4. The best-selling author of novels including The Bullet That Missed, Richard Osman, co-hosted what UK quiz show with Alexander Armstrong for 13 years?
QI.
Pointless. Notably climbed by Tom Cruise in a Mission Impossible film, which Dubai skyscraper is the world's tallest building?
Burj Khalifa.
Correct. Which marsupial, the faunal emblem for Western Australia, is unusual in that the female lacks a pouch?
Numbat.
Correct. The chart-topping singer and former member of Fleetwood Mac with the real name Stephanie Lynn Nix is best known by what first name?
Stevie.
Correct. When referring to the science that is the quantum version of classical electromagnetism, the abbreviation QED stands for what?
Quantum electronic distribution.
Quantum electrodynamics. A winner of 9 Grand Prix world titles, which Italian motorcycle racer announced his retirement in 2021?
Valentino Rossi.
Correct. If someone identified themselves to you as a Muscovite, you would know they were a resident of which city?
Moscow.
Correct. Brad Bow and Toby Sun co-founded what company that operates electric bikes and scooters for short-term hire and shares its name with a citrus fruit?
E-bike.
Lime Bikes.
You got me there.
I tell you what, though, you picked up 6 points out of that round, bringing you up to 8. You came out fighting. It was good. Well done. Head back to the chair for me. Up next is Lisa. All right, Lisa, are you ready?
Totally.
Your time starts now. Beginning with Z, which dance craze inspired by Latin styles was invented in the 90s by Colombian fitness instructor Beto Perez.
Zumba.
Correct. Displacing 3/4 of the city's population, which cyclone devastated Darwin in December 1974?
Tracy.
Correct. Who was the first African-American to win the Best Actress Oscar awarded for her performance in the 2001 film Monsters Ball?
Pass.
In Arthurian legend, what is the name of the sacred relic said to be the cup that Christ drank from at the Last Supper?
Holy Grail.
Correct. Australia's first Indigenous surgeon, named NAIDOC Person of the Year in 2023, is Professor Kelvin who?
Pass.
The action of a car which changes course so that it faces the opposite direction is called a what letter of the alphabet turn?
U.
Correct. Predating the term plate tectonics, an idea proposed by Albert Wegener about the movement of land masses is known as continental what?
Shift.
drift. Once belonging to Princess Diana, Kate Middleton's engagement ring features 14 diamonds around what central gemstone?
Sapphire.
Correct. Which character in the Discworld novels by Terry Pratchett speaks not within quotation marks but in capitalised letters?
Griffin.
Death. In the Sydney CBD, the Reserve Bank of Australia and the General Post Office are located on what pedestrian mall called the civic heart of the city?
Paul.
Paul Mall? No, it's Martin Place. You're never going to walk down Martin Place again, are you?
No, I'm extremely embarrassed. I could see it in my head. I know Martin Place very well.
You also had 2 passes. Kelvin Kong was the NAIDOC Person of the Year in 2023 and Halle Berry was the Oscar winner we needed.
Yeah.
But I will say you picked up 5 points, bringing you up to 14. Head back to your chair for me.
Thank you.
We have 2 more rounds of general knowledge questions to come, both Liberty and James hoping to bolster their totals. Who will come out on top, though? We will find out after this short break.
Reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the production of copper is critical, and why BHP has committed to solar, wind and battery agreements to help power our Australian copper mine, Olympic Dam. It's happening now at BHP.
With the Isuzu MU-X, you're sorted. Whether you're getting away from everybody or getting away with everybody, bring all your special ones. Or just leave them all behind. Options galore. Live your own way in the 7-seat Isuzu MU-X.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. Parking, daily costs and fuel can really add up. You know every dollar counts, and sometimes walking just won't cut it. Did you know you can save 10% on your car insurance premium when you buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount? Get a quote today. You know, with GIO.
This is where they got my electric car sorted.
They got my van back on the road with a new battery.
I locked my keys in the...
There you go.
Thanks. We get you moving every time, no matter where you are. This is roadside assistance.
Can't survive until the next episode of Alone Australia?
Why not dive into your next drama obsession?
Like a dark crime comedy.
We need to protect ourselves.
Or an explosive thriller.
Go inside the mind of a murderer.
You look into their soul.
Get a dose of revenge.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Or uncover the side effects of corporate greed.
It's an excellent drug.
There's no need to be lonely between Alone Australia episodes. Stream your next drama obsession at SBS On Demand.
Welcome back to Mastermind. The current overall score to beat is 14, and up next in the chair is Liberty. So, Liberty, you're coming in strong with 10 points. It's a great base to build from. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now. The 2 acts that have won the ARIA Album of the Year award 3 times are Tame Impala and which group fronted by Bernard Fanning?
Tristan.
Powderfinger. Schönberg Castle and Berg Katz are among the many picturesque castles in Germany that sit on the banks of what major river?
Baltic.
Rhine. Which name for the large dolphin commonly called a killer whale is derived from a Latin word for the underworld?
Orca.
Correct. Sambal ole, a spicy chili paste often found in Indonesian cuisine, is typically what colour?
Red.
Correct. A fish out of water British detective works with local police to solve murders in what TV series set on the fictional Caribbean island of Saint Marie?
Death in Paradise.
Correct. In August 2022, Madison de Rosario became the first Australian para-athlete to win 4 gold medals at which international games?
Olympics.
Commonwealth Games. Supposedly based on a doodle by co-founder W.W. Hodgkinson, an image of a mountain forms the basis of the logo of which major film production company?
Paramount.
Correct. In victory, I deserve it. In defeat, I need it, is a quote from Winston Churchill talking about which French alcoholic drink?
Champagne.
Correct. The Australian author of the acclaimed books Carpentaria, The Swan Book and Tracker is Alexis who?
Smith.
Right. Which of the three basic subatomic particles that make up atoms has the smallest mass and 1 unit of negative electric charge?
Proton.
Electron. Did you just, like, guess and take a stab at a few of those?
Yep.
It totally worked.
Oh.
You picked up 5 points, bringing you up to 15. Head back to the chair for me. And finally, James. So you're part of a quizzing group, is that right?
Yes, I'm a member of the London Quiz League.
What happens in the London Quiz League?
So we meet up at the back room of a pub, 2 teams of 4, and then the quiz starts. And it's really, really serious for about 40 minutes. And then after the last question, we realise who's won and then go, it was a bit of fun, let's go get a drink. It's really tense and then it's not.
I'm familiar with this dynamic.
Yeah.
All right, James, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Your time starts now. When used specifically for posting images from personal history on social media, what does TBT stand for?
Throwback Thursday.
Correct. Formed by brothers Ray and Dave Davies, what English band recorded the anthemic hit song Lola?
The Kinks.
Correct. The abbreviation CSIRO stands for Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial what organisation?
Pass.
Since 1993, the New Era brand has been the official supplier of caps for the top-level competition of what sport in the USA?
Basketball?
Baseball. What decorated officer did Dame Quentin Bryce succeed as Governor-General of Australia in 2008?
John Smith.
Michael Jeffrey. Ranked best TV show of the 21st century by The Hollywood Reporter, which series starred John Hamm as troubled ad genius Don Draper?
Mad Men.
Correct. In 1841, the islands that now constitute which country was separated from New South Wales and became a colony in their own right?
Tasmania.
New Zealand. What brand of internet-connected fitness equipment and instruction takes its name from a French cycling term for the main group of riders in a race?
Peloton.
Correct. Which acclaimed Australian director of films, including Radiance and Brand New Day, is the daughter of Aboriginal activist Charles Perkins?
Jeremy Smith.
Rachel Perkins. The art of shaping shrubs or trees into decorative forms referenced in historical records since the Roman Empire is known by what word starting with T?
Topiary.
Correct. The Goodies, Clive James, Emma Thompson, Stephen Fry and Olivia Colman are all alumni of the Footlights Dramatic Club at which famous English university?
Cambridge.
Correct. A mass migration of prospectors that occurred in the 1890s, the Klondike Gold Rush, takes its name from a river in what country?
The USA.
Canada. So, James, your one pass. CSIRO stands for Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, but you didn't need it. 6 points brings you up to 19. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, mate.
And with that, we have our final scores. In 4th place with 8 points is Chow. In 3rd place with 14 points is Lisa. In 2nd place with 15 points is Liberty. And yes, in 1st place with his 19 points is James. Congratulations, James. We will see you in our Friday weekly final, and that is our show for tonight. How did you do at home? Did you answer every single question correctly? Like, really? Like, really? Well, then you need to apply to be on this show next season. All you need to do is head to sbs.com.au/mastermind. It is the weekly final tomorrow night. I'm Mark Fennell. I'll see you then. Good night.